Well, hello, everybody. Good evening to this special surprise bonus stream of Zophar's Realm. Your eyes are not deceiving you. You are absolutely seeing Zophar's domain on Zophar's Realm for the first time ever. I hope you're all doing well. This is going to be very different than every other stream we've had, and probably from most other streams we'll ever have. Consider this a one-time, maybe not one time, and every now and then special treat. So let's see who's all here. What's up, Dark Mechs? We are definitely changing it up. Hey there, Handcore. Vert's amazing. By the way, Vert is inverse phase. However, I will not play any of his music without his permission, obviously. And he actually, me and him have been talking about the possibility of maybe him taking a commission for Zophar's Realm, creating something. We'll see. He's very, very busy. He does a lot of work. He's amazing. Very lucky to have him. He's in our Discord, and he stops by here sometimes too. He's actually a mod. But now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Dreaming Rain, yes, this is enough. This is not enough golds. Yeah, Dark Max, this is going to be interesting for sure on this ancient day of Tuesday rain. Yo, expendable gamer. Hey, Melpa Minion, how you all doing? So we are going to get started here in just a minute, but let me tell you what tonight is going to be. So this is the 25th anniversary of the Nintendo emulator known as Nesticle, which, the program had a pretty funny, interesting sense of humor. And the emulator was amazing for its time. Obviously nowadays there's many more accurate emulators, but you got to remember this was 1997, and all we had was Passifami and Ines, and a couple of others. None of them particularly accurate or even had any sound. Video could kind of be choppy sometimes unless you had a really powerful machine. Exactly, Dreaming Rain. Exactly. But outside of the name of the emulator, that is all the the potentially pushing PG-13 boundary you're gonna see tonight. It's gonna be all Nintendo stuff, and when I say all Nintendo stuff, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you a couple of the versions of the emulator. I'm gonna show you the very first one he ever released. I'm gonna show you the latest one. When I say oldest and newest, this all happened within a less than 2 year period, so and then I'm gonna show you a speed run because. Believe it or not, although I didn't know what the heck to call it back then, Zophar's Domain did speedruns in the late 90s. Yes, we did. We didn't call it that because I didn't know what that meant. I just called them contests. Let's have a contest to see who can beat the game the fastest. Little did I know. Little did I know what that would become years later. But that's what we got. So, what if you pronounce it like Pericles? Pericle. What would that sound like? Like Miracle? Miracle? Part of what made it great was that it ran well on such old hardware. Yes. So ICER used quite a lot of assembly programming in this emulator. So essentially the GUI, I won't call it GUI, I think that's a goofy term. I call it the GUI. But the graphical user interface was done in C++, if I remember correctly. I think that's what he said. But all of the 6502 and, all the processing emulation portions of the emulator were done in assembly. And so, with a long E, like Neesticle? You can call it whatever you want. Let's call it the emulator. How's that? Interesting. Is that, I'm looking at what, Greek alphabet maybe? Nesticles. Okay, we can do that. Nesticles. Yes. Cool. I like it. By the way, we are getting back to Shining Force 2 tomorrow. Don't worry. We haven't forgotten about it. We still do Shining Force 2 on the other days of the week. And we'll still continue on with Gabriel Knight 2 on Mondays. All of that's still intact. But I just wanted to celebrate because this week is the 25th anniversary of the emulator. It was actually released 2 days ago, 25 years to the day, 2 days ago. So I think we're gonna get started here, everybody. So bear with me here. Gonna see how this works. Now I do want to say a few things here. Unfortunately, because of the way my Mac is, it's just the way it's gonna be. I can't get it to be full screen for you because if I make it full screen, the way DOSBox works is it's going to kill. Like I'm not gonna be able to see OBS. It's gonna absolutely kill the screen, and I won't be able to see anything that's going on. And I mean, we could do that, but then I won't be able to interact with you, and I know half the fun is the interaction. So, yeah. So, Dreaming Rain, actually, before we do that, let me get that back for you. So, what you are seeing right here is indeed a portion of Zophar's domain. This is live. Like you could actually, if you wanted to, you could go there right now. I want to remind everybody that I no longer actively run this site. I actually transferred ownership of this many, many years ago, back in 2000. So I only had it for about 4 years. I founded it. I, created the early days of the domain, and then I passed it along. But they're doing a great job, of keeping it alive. I know it's not updated like it used to be, but every other website that was around back then basically is gone, except for maybe Shining Force Central when it comes to this kind of stuff. So, I think the fact that it's up there is impressive, and I'm very proud of what they've done. But yes, you are looking at we'll call it the speedrun section of Zophar's domain, but I didn't know what to call it. There was no such thing. Like, there was no speedrunning community really back then. Yeah, so Dreaming Rain 3000 cycles actually works very well for it. I tried a few versions of I tried a few different versions of the cycles, and it seems like 3000 cycles does a pretty good job of emulating a 486 running 66 megahertz, which Nesticle was designed to run on anything a 486, 66 or higher, and actually would work well. But we'll see. I played around with it a bit. I was in there for maybe a good half an hour today, and it seemed like it was working well at 3000 cycles. We need to adjust it. We can mess with it. But I want to remind everybody that it's going to be small. I can't full screen it, unfortunately. There's a way to do it if I go into if I were to do it in Windows 10, I could load Windows 10 and run Nesticle in DOSBox in Windows 10 on my Mac. It's going to mash my processing power while streaming. Because I see what it does when I'm streaming Gabriel Knight. My computer's pretty powerful. It's a 2019 i5 3.7 gigahertz 6-core iMac, but that's a lot of processing power to layer it like that. Very recursive. So just be aware it's going to look little and cute. Yeah, exactly, Hancore. Yep, same here. I had a 48666 megahertz processor until around the time Nesticle came out, and I upgraded to do you remember Cyrix? I had a Cyrix 686 P166 Plus, which sucked running Quake, by the way. We're talking about Quake because the floating processor was horrible in Cyrix chips. But I felt so cool. I'm like, yeah, man, I got a Cyrix 166. I'm cool. 4 megs of RAM, man. 4 megs. So, or run the stream itself at lower res. The small screen fills more of it. The upscaling will happen viewer side. I don't know. I don't think OBS lets you do that on the fly. Like, wouldn't I have to stop the stream and start it again, Rain? And then I'd have to redo. Yeah, I'd have to do a lot of stuff that we're not going to do right now because it would kill the stream. But yes, if I do future streams like this, yeah, that could be a good idea. I've been thinking about doing this, like I said, for a pretty long time. So I think we're going to just launch right into it. So first thing I'll show you before we load it up is this was the 4th contest I ever ran on Zophar's domain. There was a $75 prize that was awarded by me. I wrote them a check. Yeah, this was 1998. We were high tech back then, man. I wrote a personal check to the winner of this, which was Boers. I don't know if Boers is still around. I don't know if Boers has a different username. For all I know, Boers could stumble in here tonight. There's no way to know. But Boers is the person that won it, and Boers is who won the $75 prize. And hey, Gamers Uplink, yes, here we are. I'm finally doing it. Dreaming Rain, you said, or set OBS to use DOSBox as a Windows source and upscale within OBS. That's a really good point. Now, if I used DOS to that, could do that. Oh, that's tempting. I could do that. How much work do you think that'll be if I tried to do that right on the fly? That might be a little bit more work than it's worth right now, right? Maybe for the next time, because I'm gonna, like I said, this isn't gonna be all the time, but I'm gonna be doing like different celebrations for different emulators, I'm sure. Yeah, let's get it started now, and that'll be something really cool for me to mess with after the stream. But you think I could do it? You think I could set it up like right now? Let me see. So to set up a window source though, like in OBS, so I do window capture. I would create new. I would choose the window called DOSBox. Okay, all right, I see what you're saying. Do we want the shadow? Yeah, we could. We like the shadow, right? Okay. So here's DOSBox right here. Now, this could work, actually. Good call. All right, so now if I... Let me just unlock the preview here. So here's DOSBox. And if I was so inclined, you just go like this. Oh, you are awesome. Wow. This is why I love you all. This is why this is the best community on Twitch. I don't care what anybody says. The retro community is the greatest community on Twitch. So let's see. How big should I make this? I guess we can have this kind of be over the browser area here. Like I could start it here maybe. Like if I put it here and I just kind of maybe like that. Something like this. Or is that too big, you think? Let me get a little bit smaller. Make it more like to kind of fit the dimensions, like right here. Like that, maybe? Something like this? Don't cover your logo. Agreed. Does this look okay, everyone? You happy with this? Nice. All right, so I'm gonna lock the preview back. And we'll call this window capture here DOSBox. And I'm going to move DOSBox down to be right above the desktop video. Put this here. This way alerts will still go. I'm also going to test an alert just to make sure it still works. So let's put the bees on here. The bees! The bees! The bees! Just like that, like 5 times. Like. All right. Good call. Yeah, I got you. All right. Good stuff. We're learning on the fly here, chat. We're learning on the fly. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. So, I think we're ready. So, let's go over here. And we are gonna... Oh, you know what? It looks like we need to move it up just a little bit. Something is fishy. It says Zophar speedrunning. No, it's not me. This is one of the people that used to frequent Zophar's domain. But it's not me. Let's just move this up a little bit. Now, if we lock preview, and I go back to this, how come it seems to be wiggling around? You notice that, chat? Doesn't it seem like it's a little cut off at the bottom? Is that because I'm showing the... Let me just check one thing here. I think I know why it's doing that. I think it's because... Yeah, I think that's why. I think it's the window bar. I should probably disable that. Let me do that right now. Go to Properties, Show Window Shadow, turn that off, hit OK. Then we will go back to the lock preview, bring this back down like here. Probably like right here. And we'll lock the preview. We'll see what this looks like. All right. Well, now at least it's not moving around. You can actually see it. But it looks like we're going to probably still see the top of it. But that's all right. I think that'll be okay. There might be a way if I mess with it a little bit, but I think we'll be all right. Yeah, this is... actually, we almost... But I just didn't want to kill the processor. What we almost did was we almost did Nesticle inside DOSBox, inside Windows 10, running on a virtual machine of Parallels, running on my Mac. I almost did it, but I was like, I think we might have a choppy stream if I went for it. Maybe the next one I'll play around with that. I love doing weird stuff like that. It's so much fun. Okay. So we're going to do it. We're going to go for it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to load the original Nesticle as it was in 1997 on April the 3rd. 2 days ago, 25 years to the date.
Then, what brings you to my inner sanctum?
Wellsish, thank you so much for the resubscription. 2 months now. You are continuing to be an acolyte of the realm and the domain, and your support is greatly appreciated. Running on Java, running on Docker, right? 0.20 Handcore, actually. Little Gremlin says, while people thought computers would seize on Y2K, the truth is anyone born after Y2K has seizure when seeing a DOS prompt. Yeah, I hear you. So there's 3 versions of Nesticle that I have prepared for us tonight. One of them is the original version, 0.20. That's the one that's called NESTC020. Little DOS history for those of you that weren't around then. DOS had an 8.3 limit, meaning each file or folder could have 8 characters, and files could have 3 letters for an extension. So, like, for example, you can't have a game that's called The Legend of Zelda.nes. If you try to do that, it'll show up as THELEG tilde 1. Yes, that's a tilde, if you didn't know that. So I already renamed the games appropriately. I've also prepared Nesticle 0.42, which is what we're going to use for the speedrun. I'm not speedrunning. It's going to be someone else's speedrun attempt that back then was pretty impressive. I'm still impressed by it. They did all this in an emulator that was not perfect. And then the folder called Nesticle was the final version, x.xx. Again, he had a very interesting sense of humor. What's up, Fidirth? How you doing? So we're going to go for it. We're going to go in here. CD is to change directory. So I'm going to hit CD, and I'm going to type in NESTC020. dir shows you everything that's in here, and we're going to run the file like this. Well, you already see a problem here. By doing it this way, Rain, by showing the window, it's not displaying properly on the stream. I see it fine over here, but it's not displaying properly here. Now, if I change the resolution to something that it might know, let's see, it may not be capable of doing it this way, unfortunately. Yeah, we may have to do it the other way. Yeah, it was a good thought. So it does not appear that DOSBox is prepared to handle it the way that we wanted. So we're going to have to hide that. It was a good thought. Definitely like the thought. You're saying, yeah, we already are capturing the second screen. But Rain had a neat idea that would have worked really well. Yes, we are in 0.20, Rain. That is correct. I want to show you first what the original version of this was like, so you can get a feel for how we all felt back in April of 1997 when this came on the scene. But no, so hi, Wild Wolf of Meebo. Thanks for coming in. And so basically, what we were trying to do just now, Rain had a neat idea that could have gotten the screen to fill more of the stream, but it apparently DOSBox does not like to be in a window in OBS, and that's okay. No. So it's not me speedrunning Alfalpo. It's I probably should alter the name of this so there's no confusion. We are going to watch a speedrun, but it is not my speedrun. It is somebody else's speedrun. So let's do this. Faxanadu speedrun, courtesy of Boars from 1997. All right. Now there's no confusion. I do not want to take credit for somebody else's work. It's not my work. I created the contest, but Boars is the one who actually did the speedrun. Wild Wolf of Meebo says, try adding the source again. What, you think I should try to add the source now that I'm in the screen like that? Is that what you're thinking? Perhaps. I could try that real quick if you want. You guys want me to try that real quick, chat? I'll try it real quick. It can't hurt, right? So we'll delete DOSBox. I'm going to do it right now before we start. I'm going to try it. So remove. Yes. And we're going to go back to add. Window capture. Call this oops, DOSBox. Okay. And window. And DOSBox is right here. You were right. You're awesome. You know that? I need to hire you all. You all need to be part of the staff here. The whole community will be the Zophar's Realm staff. What do I do without you? Seriously. So we'll unlock this. It's going to work. This is actually going to work. I can't believe it. You are awesome. Now, obviously, the ratio is not widescreen, so we'll just have to you know, do the best we can with it. Maybe like this. This okay, chat? Or do you want me to make it bigger and cover up the logo? What do you think? Window captures are finicky when the window changes. I got you. Is this okay? Usually OBS isn't that derpy when windows change. I got you. You think bigger? So like covering up the logo like this? You want it to be like that? Doesn't need to cover the logo? Alright, so we'll go back to like that. It's still way better than it was. Okay, so we'll lock the preview here. Come over here, make sure it's working. Seems okay. Alright, so I want to just make sure you're all aligned on this next part here. This is, this was amazing in 1997. It's not nearly accurate compared to what you have now, so just be prepared if you've never seen this before. When you play normally, it doesn't cover the logo, after all. When you play 4x3, everything from the 90s. Yeah, good call. Okay, here we go. So we're going to go load ROM. And I'm just going to show you just a sample. We're going to try to play Super Mario Bros. 1 using my keyboard. I just warn you, this was amazing in April of 97. So when you see this, please temper your expectations. It's like if you try to watch The Wizard of Oz now. That was a great... I still think it's a great movie, but it's... You know, it was from the 1930s. All right, here we go. Let's do it. So first I load the ROM. Then you have to go over here in CPU and reset it. Don't ask me why, that's just how it works. That's what you have to do. And now we're gonna start playing Super Mario Bros. As best I can using a keyboard. Oh dear. Oh, I'm not gonna get very far. Now, you can use controllers with this, but I would have to map the, like I'd have to pick an existing controller now and basically run a joystick emulator. I think DOSBox lets you bind the keys, but I didn't mess with that. I didn't get that far because I'm not really going to be playing much of this tonight. I'm mostly going to be showing you the speedrun. But yeah, it is. It's definitely a different pitch. He fixed this in later versions, which that's why I have several versions on here for you to hear the differences, like how far it came. But I just want you to know, when I'll never forget the day, me and all these other people from different websites like Archaic Ruins and Node 99 and MU News and sites like that, we're all sitting in IRC in a chat in FNet, and all of a sudden there's an announcement. The topic of the chat changed because you could change the topic at the top, and it said new Nintendo emulator released or something like that. Check it out. And the emulator author, his name, he went by the name back then of Kronk, and then later Sardu from Bloodsucking Freaks. Like I said, he was into horror and stuff like this. And they're like, he was releasing a new Nintendo emulator, and it's the INES killer, because INES was the big Nintendo emulator back then. Gamers Uplink, ask your, what do you mean when you say that? So it was the developer? Put 1 foot forward and do the Mario. Yeah, exactly. Do the Mario. Swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go do the Mario. Yeah, but you can hear, you're listening to the sound, and you're like, what the hell is this? You gotta remember, it was 1997. Nobody knew what was going on. Everything had to be reverse engineered. All of it. Nintendo didn't give any of this information out. All of this was reverse engineering. We basically got to see the formation of emulators, like, as they were happening. I got to beta test this, actually. Somewhere in here, I might share that with you in a minute here. I'll show you, the README file, and I'm pretty sure, I'm in the list of beta testers. But yeah, this was amazing stuff back then. But yeah, you can listen to it, you're like, what? This is not even like 1% accurate. But this was the best there was. There was nothing better. This was amazing to us. I was blown away by this. It's very high-pitched. No problem for Dearth, I hope you're enjoying this. So, like, there were all kinds of neat effects that the Nintendo had that were undocumented that they had to figure out, like the pipe effect, and it just they didn't. It was all tricks. Like the Nintendo, if think of even the fact that games like Legend of Zelda and Metroid exist, they had to put chips inside the Nintendo games because the NES was only capable of addressing, I think it was 32 kilobytes of RAM at one time. I think it was 32 kilobytes, that was it. And so if you wanted to make a game bigger than 32 kilobytes, you had to use special mappers. There was memory mappers, they would name them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the emulator scene. But yeah, exactly. And some of them are way crazier than others in how they would swap out, programming character data. Correct, Wild Wolf Amiibo bank switching. That's right. Oh, thanks for saying so, Food Earth, but I couldn't have done any of this without people like this, like Iseratus. I didn't actually make a single emulator. All I did was put everything in one place and update news sites, and I beta tested it, and I played different games. This, by the way, you know how I always talk about how much fun I'm having streaming? When I ran Zophar's domain, I didn't get to play games at all, like barely at all. This is why I miss Shining Force 3. This is why I'm always bitter about that. Because I was doing stuff like this, like I'd be loading games, like on the Nintendo and the Genesis, over and over and over, playing them for a little bit, and then giving feedback to the emulator authors, like Iseratus or ZSNES, the ZSNES team that made the Super Nintendo emulator ZSNES. I beta tested a bunch of stuff, but nope, I'm about to die. Gotta run, oh no! Oh noes! Oh, we're not making it. We're gonna die here. I'm gonna try that, let's see. I'm dead. Womp womp. So, that's Nesticle 0.20. I'll load one more so you can just get a feel for what it sounded like. Here's Faxanadu. And you hear, obviously, the pitch is completely wrong. The color palette is off. But this was amazing. In April of 1997. I was 16 years old when this came out. 16. Yep. MM4 was a great upgrade. Yes, it was. Yeah, 32 kilobytes of program. Yep, code data. And 8 kilobytes of character. You got it, Brain. But the mapping is routed through the cart, so the cart can, in theory, do stuff like remapping. Every Nintendo game can only see 32 kilobytes of PRG and 8 kilobytes of CHR at a time. But it can be a window into a, arbitrarily large data block. All correct. Yep. Yeah, exactly. And it's just again, it's so funny. Like, it's like rose-colored glasses. Like, I remember this emulator being amazing because it was. But you listen to it now, you're like, you're like Zophar, dude, stop. Like, this is, yeah, exactly. It makes me miss my 486 as well. You're like, what are you doing here? So that's 0.20 now. If you look at this, it had features like, again, this super, for its time, you didn't see stuff like this. Like, you could look and see, what resolution you're running at here and how many 16K ROM banks there are and what mappers it running. See, MMC1 right here. Someone hates headphones users. I'm sorry. Let me know if you need me to lower this. I'm happy to lower it if it's too loud. This is the first time I've ever tried to run an emulator like this on a stream, so I don't know how bad the desktop audio might be. You're glad when you were using it back in the day you didn't have sound. In fact, sounded as your favorite NES soundtrack, and that hurt to hear. Yeah, the sound was brutal in the beginning, but it was still better than everything else. And we're going to show you later versions of Nesticle that were much better. Still, no version of Nesticle got the sound anywhere close to correct, just to be clear. Even the last version left out, like, the PCM channel wasn't right, and sometimes the noise channel was missing. But again, for the time. So what else can you do here? Right NES header, I don't remember what the purpose of that was. It was some kind of developing tool, I think, if you wanted to modify the mapper and stuff, or change the name of the game within. You could save a snapshot of the screen if you wanted to. You could advance the frames one at a time. Save stating, this was a pretty new thing back then, right? You could load states, save states. Now everyone's got save states of everything, but back then, this stuff was very new. I created a save state archive on Zophar's domain because of this feature that was in Nesticle. These are all the messages we just saw. You can look at the pattern tables. So here's the pattern table that Faxanadu is using right now, the CHR data. I hope this is interesting to you, by the way. I debated for months whether or not I should do this. I was like, I want to do it. That'll be fun. You can look at the palette. Those are all the colors that Faxanadu's using right now. Jeremy King Tech, how you doing? You're saying that in the late 90s, you'd bring it with your favorite ROMs to school on a floppy disk. Oh, those are the days, right? So much fun. Yeah, right? Expendable Gamer, I'm going to be doing Shining Force 2 tomorrow. I thought about like the prospect of maybe just grinding a little bit more. We still had to go get the last mithril item, right? We were going to make one for who the heck were we going to make it for? It wasn't Lemon, right? No, it was somebody else. We took Taya out. Weren't we going to make one more mithril weapon? I can't remember now. I have to look. But we also had to get that last running pimento, if I recall. But I don't know if we're going to have time tonight. It might just have to be tomorrow. Tonight's kind of a bonus stream. Hey there, Clifoth. Looking at certain things in ROM is still difficult in modern emulators. Yep. Pacifami. Well, again. Hey, Inverse Face. I just realized you're here. How you doing? We were just talking about you earlier. Although you were Vert when we were talking about you. It was all good things, I promise. Hey, Soda Pagoda. Yeah, this is in DOS. We're running Nesticle within DOSBox on a Mac. Yes, I'm sorry, Gamers Uplink. That's me. That's me knocking. What else was here? Wave output. So, like, here, to show you this one effectively, we're going to reload a game. Let's load DuckTales. Oh, no, maybe we shouldn't load DuckTales. I hear Disney's funky on that stuff, right? We're not going to load DuckTales. Bad choice. Let's load... We'll get the MC8 so fast. Let's load Shadowgate. Yeah, they are. Yeah, we're gonna skip the Disney game. No Disney game, sorry, chat. So again, the sound in Nesticle was like, oh my god, in the beginning. But so look, you can see the wave output. This is what's happening right now. I know. We're not going to be in this version very long, I promise. Here you can change your input, like keyboard, joystick, all that. Gravis, gamepad. Yeah, we're getting retro now. You can change resolution. I'm not going to actually do this because I have a feeling it will break the OBS window we have here, so we won't do this right now. But you could change the resolution if you wanted to. Fun fact, it ran best in 256 by 224, which was generally the native NES resolution. You could turn the sound off, and then your ears will stop bleeding. Flip mirroring, this was to fix certain games. I don't remember which ones. You could change the timing to try to manually fix a game. Here it shows you that the 6502 processor was running at a whopping 2.3 megahertz. That's speed. Man, hell with Genesis Blast processing. This is where it was at. Yeah. You can save your configuration. You can see how many frames a second you're getting. As you can see, 3,000 cycles is more than enough. We're getting 2,000 frames a second on my 2019 iMac, so there's no problem there. We can show our CPU usage. Look at that. And you get to see all of the different aspects of this emulator and how much processor it's taking. And interestingly enough, it looks like the GUI is taking up the most processor right now, which is pretty funny. And then page flip's taking up a bit too. And you guys said a lot of stuff, so I need to... Oh my god, PPC, you're here. How you doing? Thanks for coming on in. Yeah, DuckTales got booted off Steam because of contract issues. Totes recommend getting it now, though. I got you. The Wii U version, by the way, of DuckTales is... and the other versions that came out afterwards, really good. They brought back the original actor before he died who played Scrooge for it. For that remake. If a dove flew in front of your speaker right now, would it just explode? This was great for the time. Yeah, all I need now is a 2400 baud modem and a bunch of Chatland credits with a nested emulator, and you are gold. Yeah, Inverse Phase, to scroll back up, we were talking about the different Vert remixes. Hancor was talking about it, and I said how legendary you were. And I also told them that you were incredibly busy right now, but at some point you may do a commission for Zophar's Realm for a little soundbite. So, but I told them that's all up to you, and you're very busy, and whenever the time is right, you just let me know and take my money, because you deserve it. You are a legend. BBS reference. Yes. My favorite BBS door games, by the way, were Lord and Major Mud, in case anyone was curious. Alright, so I think that's just about everything. Let me close out of this here. Show CPU use off. We'll get rid of the wave output like that. Show B-frame info. Again, just debugging stuff. And then, of course, you've got the Nesticle mascot. Thanks, buddy. So, that was Nesticle 0.20. Now, we're going to move on to the last version of Nesticle. This is the final one he ever released. And you will see that we are in a much better state here. It's not perfect, still not perfect, but check this out. It's closer. It's still wrong. The noise channel is totally wrong. But, like, you hear the wave in the triangle channels. Channels 1, 2, and 3. In fact, you can isolate, just to give you an idea of what I mean. So if I wanted to, I could go to sound now. I can do this. And that's pretty close without the noise channel. But the noise channel's all wrong. And the PCM channel, I don't think you really have that working at all. It's closer. Yeah, for Mud, it was T-Dome for you. Never played that one. CPU runs at 1.79 megahertz if you want an actual speed. Yep. This is, oh god, little gremlin. Yeah, so I would say, like, turning the noise channel off is probably much better. And, you know, it had a lot of the same things. He finally took out the mascot here. So this was July 6, 1998. So he released this about a year and some months after the original version. Yes. Okay. Tell me if the sound is, if that's better, if you can hear me better over the sound now. Is that better? Or do you want me to turn it down a little bit more? Let me know. Still further down, PC? We can go lower. Okay. Tell me if this is okay. I'm going to talk for a little bit, and you tell me if you can hear me. That's better? Okay. Still loud, but better. You want me to go a little bit lower? No problem, Jeremy King Ted. Tell me if you think I should go lower than this, or if this is okay. This is good now? Okay. Cool. So I have that at -7 decibels, so I'm just going to jot this down. -7 dB for emulation. Got it. Alright, so let's kind of launch into this a little bit. File. Again, we're not going to play this for very long. I'm just showing you like what it was like. I think it's this one. Yep. Do you want me to put the noise channel back on, see what it sounds like here? Let's see. The last thing you remember is standing before the wizard Lackmere as he waved his hands. Let's get rid of the GUI. The GUI. Now you find yourself staring at an entryway which lies at the edge of a forest. This part sounds pretty faithful. Curious to see how the sound engine treats the fact Xanadu soundtrack. So just be prepared. Like I said, the noise channel, you never quite got that one going. Inverse phase says a little lower on game volume or a little higher on voice volume would be a better balance, but at least we can hear you now. Yeah, I can't get the voice to go any louder. I've got it maxed already, so anything I do would have to be to reduce the game audio. Rain says, one of the people in your ROM hacking circle was named Lackmere. Yep, probably where it came from, because it's the only game I've ever heard Lackmere mentioned in. And yes, that's right, Rain. Zophar is the villain of Lumar 2, Eternal Blue. Not a name conjured out of the blue. Okay. Continuing on here. The druid's words ring in your ears. Within the castle's shadow gate lies your quest. The dreaded warlock lord will use his black magic to raise the behemoth from the dark depths. The combination of his evil arts and the great titan's power will surely destroy us all. You are the last of the line of kings. The the seed of prophecy that was foretold aeons ago. Only you can stop the evil one darkening our world forever. Fare thee well. Gritting your teeth, you swear by your god's name that you will destroy the Warlock Lord. Alright, destroy the Warlock Lord. So, I guess the good thing about this is using a keyboard in Shadowgate works out pretty well, actually. Because that's a port of a PC and Amiga game, as I think a lot of you are aware. It's the skull of some creature. Its meaning seems quite clear. Death lurks inside. So this game was, I don't know what kind of game you call this. Call this like a point-and-click / adventure game with RPG elements, maybe? It's definitely doesn't really fit any genre. And they made a couple games like this. The Uninvited, and there were a few others that were all by the same company. Bring my voice up. I can't bring my voice up, but I can bring the audio down. Hold please. Alright, we went down a couple more decibels. Let me know if this balance is better. Yeah, I'm gonna go down further. The square and triangle channels are really harsh. Alright, is this any better? I just dropped it down to 11. Does this sound better? Like, can you hear me over the music now? Just let me know if there's any more problems here. Apologies, this is the first time I ever tried streaming this emulator on this stream. And so I wasn't sure what it would sound like. Much better? Okay. I'm going to jot that down here for future reference, that it is not -7 we want, it is -11. Little did you know that testing out this beta emulator, that the stream itself would be a beta test. Should I go change the name of the stream to, like, Faxanadu Nesticle version 0.007A? Nice. Okay, so, like we said, as if by magic, the score rises. So now we're gonna go, let's see, hit take, and then we will take it. Nope. How about here? Yeah, you literally have to, like, be exactly on the pixel or it won't work. The key 1 is in hand! We got key 1. So now we're gonna open the door. The door is open. It's the door leading into the castle Shadowgate. Alright, now we're gonna move and go through it. Ooh, spooky eyes, spooky eyes! That pitiful wizard Lackmere was a fool to send a buffoon like you to stop me. You will surely regret it, for the only thing here for you is a horrible death. And he's not kidding. That's basically what every move you make in this game will kill you. Stream title now. Yeah, right? God, I'm sure that would go over well. The sound of maniacal laughter. Maniacal laughter! Hey! Maniacal laugh. Do we have a silver redemption about maniacal laughter? Yeah, welcome to die. Welcome to die.
Secure all positions. Here we go.
Aww.
Full ahead.
We gotta fix
Next
that.
stop, Zophar's domain.
There we go. Melpominion, thank you for redeeming Maniacal Laugh, and I feel you were cheated out of your Maniacal Laugh, so we're gonna run it again. Since we just did this on the fly. Oh, it's got a 10-minute cooldown. Darn me. Alright, remind me later. I promise we'll replay that one for you. Yeah, I know, right, Melpominion? It's because we're doing so much of this on the fly right now. Like, I didn't know how well this would work or not, but it looks like it's working out pretty well, minus some glitches and bugs. So, let's see, where do we go now? Maybe we want to open door? Okay. Can we open this? Does that not work? Wait, why is this not working? Because we didn't hit the right button. Okay, now we can open it. The door's locked. Alright, don't we have a key? Can't just, like, use key 1? Okay, take key 1. You seem to be wasting your time. No. Hold on a minute. Use key 1. Okay. What do you want to use this on? I want to use it on this door. He doesn't fit into the keyhole. Oh my word. Yeah, I could also refund the points. Melpominion, I'll leave it to you if you want me to refund you your points, or if you want me to replay that in about 6 minutes. We want to go in here. So I'll try. Go to move. Oh, this is so clunky. You have to open the door before you can go through it. Oh my god. I'm so bad at this game. The door's locked. I know that. Use. No, I'm about to hit it. Hit the door. Oh, hit the door. Nothing happened. What do you mean nothing happened? Use key 1. Dude, the fire's gonna go out. What do you want to use this on? I want to use this on the door. Oh, there we go. Click! The key worked. It unlocked the door. I did it. How do door? Alright, now, we should probably... Can't we light... Hold on a minute here. Can we take, like, this? The torch is in hand. We can do the same here, right? I can just take it? Why can't I take it? There we go. Okay. We just have to pay attention to the, fire. Fire! 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 The stone walls seem uncomfortably close as you walk down the stairs. Okay. Can we take this? You can't do that. Alright, hold on. Take. We're gonna take... The torch is in hand. Alright, and then take again. The torch is in hand. Alright, now let's look at this thing. It's an ancient tome. It seems that no one has disturbed its pages for centuries. Alright. I think this is a good place to save, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. Let's see if I remember how to do this. What's this? Oh, that just tells you what save slot you're on. Hold on, I'm trying to remember. Save state, here we go, 5. Did it work? I'm going to find out. If we go to load state, it worked. Okay, good. So now we're saved, because now I'm going to do something fun. I actually know what happens if I do this. I think I'm supposed to, if I want to die, I think I... Is it take? I think I take the book? Yep. When you remove the book from its pedestal, the floor collapses and you fall to your death. It's a sad thing that your adventures have ended here. And dead. Ludwig II's castle seen better days. Yeah, you're not kidding, Rain. See, that was what happened. We went into New Schwanstein in Gabriel Knight 2, and we came out through Castle Shadowgate. It's another dimension, man. It's another dimension. Yeah, F5, F7, Frog. How you doing, by the way? Okay. So, that's just to give you a little idea of Nesticle X.XX. The sound was much better, but still not, not accurate to today's standards, not to what it actually sounded like. But it was close as you were going to get. Exactly. You died. Alright, so now that that's done, we're going to give the speedrun a try. Now, again, reminder, I'm not speedrunning. I am not a speedrunner. I did a few speedruns in my day, and I was in the top 100 of a Shining Wisdom speedrun contest for working designs. But this is going to be courtesy of a person named Boars. And so you'll notice, you see in the list there, it's... Oh, you can't see this right now. Let's try something. Okay, now you can. So, we're going to load Faxanadu. And, of course, the sound is better. Still not perfect. And you're missing the noise channel. Yeah, you're not kidding, T-Bright. I will have to do that. Did I beat Shadowgate Blind Run? I've never beaten Shadowgate without looking up help. And it's been years since I played it. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to add this to the list, because it seems like there's interest in me playing Shadowgate at some point. So, hold please. I'm going to make a note to myself here. Possible interest in Shadowgate for NES added to list of games to play. I would say that if I do it, I'm not going to play it in Nesticle. I'm going to play it, probably with RetroArch, because I want the game to be as accurate as possible. And again, that's not a knock on Nesticle. This is, an emulator from the 90s, so I just want to make sure we're clear on that. This was amazing for its time. Okay, are we ready? Everybody ready for the speedrun here? I have no idea how well this is going to work, but this is the whole Zophar's Domain speedrunning stuff that I did in the 90s, where I would have a contest and I would offer different prizes. Most of the time they were cash prizes, and everyone would submit their NSM movies to me. Shadowgate 64 was okay. I didn't beat it. It was very hard, like this one. But it was fine. It had, soundtrack was okay. It was 3D. It was for the N64, of course. I would say I'd give it like, I don't know, 6 to 7 out of 10. Maybe 6 out of 10. It was all right. Probably 6 out of 10. Yeah, I think it was hampered going 3D, but it was a neat idea. Okay, so what we're gonna do here. So let me explain what this NES movie is for those who don't know. In 1997, hard drives were not very large. I had I want to say at the time it was probably maybe a 2 gigabyte hard drive, something like that. 2 gigs. And, if you were to try to record, an AVI, that was the file back then, either AVI on Windows or, MOV on Mac, you would very quickly run out of hard drive space. There wasn't a lot in the way of compression back then unless you used like real video, and then it just looked horrible. And it would take up a ton of processing power trying to do that for most computers at the time. So essentially what happened was Icer came up with this idea. I had asked him if there was a way to do this, but he came up with the actual idea, and he created NES movie recording, not through recording an actual movie, but by recording the controller inputs on each frame. So essentially, all this file would do, all the file says is, each frame, here's what the controller is doing. So it only worked with a very specific version of the emulator. It had to be a very specific version of the game. Couldn't be like a bad ROM dump or an alternate version. It had to be perfect. Any imperfection, and you could lose sync. And once you lose sync, that's the end of it. So I don't know what this is going to be like on DOSBox. It's very possible this will not work out, and at some point we'll lose sync. And if that happens, that happens. I've never tried this before, so chat, you get to see the first time ever of anyone that I know of that's ever tried streaming Boar's, at the time, the Zophar's domain record attempt at Faxanadu. I believe this is done in 1 hour and 2 minutes. Remember, this was 1997. I'm sure if you look now, I'm sure the Faxanadu, somebody probably beat the game in under a half an hour or something crazy like that. Actually, if somebody wants to go to speedrun.com real quick and look it up, I am curious to know what the world record really is, but I'm sure it's much better than 1 hour and 1 minute. Any tool-assisted speedrun kid will probably be familiar with movie recording and playback. Oh, good call, Inverse Phase. Good call. You remember watching ZSNES demos in the day. Yep, a lot of emulators ended up using the same idea. Genesis and Callus, which were, from Iceratus, same author. ZSNES, which was ZS Night and Demo, and others as well. I think SNES 9X might have used it too. I'm not 100% on that, but it might have. And if it doesn't work, Tiber's right. I might have to actually play Faxanadu. If I was going to do that, I'd probably want to do that on RetroArch, but I guess I could try it for a bit. But in any case, let's give this a go. Everybody ready? Hope this works. Oh, before we do this, let me go make sure that you can actually get your money's worth here. Make the screen bigger. There we go. I don't like that. That should be good. We'll lock the preview. Come back over here. All right, I think I've delayed us long enough. Let's do it. God, I hope this works. I really hope this works. Hey, but look, I'm going to be able to chat with you very easily. I'm not going to have to multitask now. All right, so this is Boar's Zophar's Domain's record attempt at Faxanadu. First ever broadcast of the speedrun that I'm aware of on Twitch. That I'm aware of. If you are going to see the king, take this ring. This ring will identify you. Don't lose it. Ring of Elf. I am so worried that it's going to desync at some point, chat. I have no idea. Like, this is totally untested. The last time I tried to do this was in 1997 or 1998. I think 1998 is when this came out. I don't even want to, like, do anything. Like, I don't want to, like, alt-tab out of things or look at stuff. I don't want to do any of that. Because all it would take is just one little imperfection, and you could lose sync. That could happen. Glad you could come. Disaster has befallen us. The elf fountain water, our life source, has stopped. The wells are drying up. Many men went out, and nobody came back.
Here we go.
You are our last hope. We shall give you 1,500 golds.
Full ahead.
Prepare for your journey with this money.
Zophar's
It will be a
domain.
dangerous journey. Take care of yourself. Gariba, thank you so much for the follow and for joining the realm and the domain. Your support is greatly appreciated. Alright, our hero is moving on. Moving on. Yeah, exactly. You do not have enough golds. Like, where did they think that was like a normal, like I guess they were trying to make them look like they were actually humans. Oh, here it comes, my favorite part. Nello. I sell, oh, he sells tools. He doesn't sell snealds. Where's the snealed guy? Oh, he's selling a Nan dagger. So for those that don't know what I'm talking about here, you see how hello has an H that looks nothing like an H? It looks like an N. So there's the Nan dagger, and he sells snealds, and the key seller toy looks like Bill Murray. But why doesn't this guy sell snealds? Where's the snealed guy? Is that the next town over? Can't remember, it's been so many years. Look at the word hand. Look at the letter. So Clyfoth, the letter H in this game, the font that they used for reasons I'll never understand, looks like an N. Nello, I sell keys. Blacksmith Bankman. That's funny. But he is not error. Yeah, that's Zelda 2. By the way, PC, I haven't seen you in a little while. How's everything been? Hope all's going well in your world. Oh, don't even get me started, Handcore, on the passwords. That's... I'll never forget, like, once I got really far in the game, like the first time I ever played as a kid, and I wrote down the password, because there was no... We didn't have phones, there was no... Well, we had Polaroid cameras, I guess. And, whoa, what's going on here? Oh no. Oh, the resolution's off, chat. Ugh. Now, if I try to fix this, I don't want to risk desyncing it. Oh, man. Hey, Red Tedium. How you doing? Oh! Is that you, Stick Figure? Are you making an appearance, finally? Alright. We gotta make a decision here, chat. Do you want me to try to change the resolution? And we are not too far into it. We can always restart it if it desyncs. Alright, I'm gonna give it a try. And now I'm gonna have to change OBS. So, hold on. Let's see if I can fix this. I think I can fix it. I think I can fix it, chat. I think we're gonna be alright. Hold on. Bear with me here. I think this is fixable. We're gonna go a little bit smaller. Gonna come down... Let's say, like, right here. I think that's good. And then we'll lock it again. Do we make it? Are we alive? We have liftoff? You want me to hide the GUI while I'm in here? Like that? How's that? Now we're doing good, right? Soda Bagoda, the poll isn't serious. What? Oh, is there a poll? Oh, fixed resolution. I just noticed that's funny. And it hasn't lost sync yet. I done did it. Oh, we got some Wells-ish emoticons. So anybody that's just coming in, just to be clear here, sure. Anybody that's just coming in, I am not playing this game. This is not me. Zophar's not doing a speedrun here. We are watching Boars do a speedrun from, I believe, 1998. He won $75, courtesy of myself, for doing the speedrun. Do you want a treatment? It is 250 golds, please. Nello, I'll take a small snealed, please. Yeah, I totally missed the snealed. Wasn't paying attention. A small snealed. Yeah, it's a shame that, the noise channel never really worked quite right in Nesticle. But like I said, emulators years later, you know, not even years later, like, there was one emulator called Nestin that I really liked that came like right after Nesticle, and that one got this, that was one of the first ones that I think got the sound emulation pretty close. Speed over money. I know, it's all about the dried meats, Tiber. It's wild that you can replay a speedrun from 24 years ago in Nesticle. Oh, read Tedium, you have no idea how much work it was to figure out which... Like, I had to first make sure I could get the emulator to work at all in DOSBox. Then once I figured that out, I had to go find the file on Zophar's domain, which took me a little while. And then once I found that, I had to figure out which version it was. And this particular one only works in 0.42 because it's all based on the CPU core. And if you're using an emulator that has any modification to the core, any version that's any kind of change in the timing, it won't work right. So I've never tried watching this to its completion since it came out, like since the speedrun happened. So I don't know if it's going to desync at some point, but so far so good. So far so plonk, as Arcus would say. By the way, read Tedium. I assume you are a stick figure, right? I am graced with the presence of Ernie Smith. I hope it's okay that I just asked you that question. You don't have to answer that if you want to. Okay, so can I tell everybody? Can I tell everybody who you are when it comes to Zophar's domain? Hold me, Mattock. So far, it's working out. So everybody, read Tedium is actually stick figure from Zophar's domain in 1996, circa like 96 to 98, around there, maybe 99, a couple years. He actually was the first staffer to write articles for Zophar's domain. And now he is very active. He is on Twitter. He has written all kinds of articles, including a really nice one about Nesticle, which I posted a link to on Twitter, by the way. And he is the author of the short form blog. He's awesome. So I believe at this point, outside of myself, I think Reed Tedium, aka Stick Figure, is the longest tenured, like, from the original staff. Like, I don't think there's anybody that's more original that's still, like, around than him, besides me. And unlike me, I don't think he took a 20-year sabbatical either. So really, he's the OG. So give him some mad respect. We appreciate you, Stick Figure. That money grind, though, yeah, tell me about it. So, I have to wonder, like, what are speedrunners doing here? Like, are they trying to grind for money to get better weapons, or are they just going for it? Like, I'd be curious to know. Ye oldie Stick Figure. By the way, I recently learned that it's not ye oldie or ye old, it's the old. The old Stick Figure is how you're really supposed to say it. But I like ye old or ye oldie better. Getting gear and key money, yeah, probably. Well, the keys you'd have to get, but, like, I'm just curious if they, like, you could probably, if you're skilled enough, you could probably beat this without, like, any special weapons, right? Like, you can beat all the bosses with a short, you know, with a dagger if you really, really wanted to, right? Or could you? Well, no. Maybe some of them you couldn't, like the dragon and stuff probably is really hard. You probably need at least a bigger sword. Well, keep in mind, chat, for those that remember Zophar's domain in the beginning, that Inverse Phase is not the same person as Inverse. There was a staffer named Inverse for a short time. It absolutely was not Inverse Phase. we got here? Even more pedantically, it's the old. Yeah, the Y approximates an old form of diagraph for the correct. The old. The old stick figure. And there's BNU, another pretty original Zophar's Domain staffer. BNU, what did you run for a while? Did you run the front end section in some of the emulator pages, if I remember? I have a whole list of what everybody did. Right? I think you had front ends in some of the pages, right? Yeah, BNU. Yeah, he was interesting. But yeah, I don't know if Inverse Phase is aware of Inverse. Do you remember Inverse Phase? Two different people. Cheaper says you have to have the final sword, but the recent speedrunners basically keep the dagger and deluge spell practically the whole time. Yo, the Cyrus Zeal, how you doing? Thanks for coming on in. Just as a reminder, for those that may not know, or if you just came in especially, I am not speedrunning Faxanadu. This is a speedrun from the winner of the Zophar's Domain contest in 1998, Boars. You're watching this replayed on Nesticle 0.42 using the NSM file that he submitted to win his $75. And the way he won his $75 by speedrunning this, he was paid out with a personal check from myself. Yep, personal check. 1998. A $75 speedrun. This was a high-tech stuff, man. That's what I figured being, yeah, front ends originally. And then you updated whatever you could find. Oh, those were the days, right? So we have multiple Zophar's Domain people in here right now, chat. You have people like MurPPC that, you know, he's active on the Zophar's Domain Discord. You have BNU and Reed Tedium, which are stick figure and BNU, respectively. Of course, myself. Maybe one day people like Noam and Infi, or Alamone, or Zip. Maybe they'll make appearances one day, you never know. Lycia was in here a couple months ago. I don't know if you remember Lycia. He was in here. Yeah, so MurPPC, you're considered, you're pretty OG yourself. OG MurPPC in the house. And there were only two that actually finished without desyncing. Oh, did I have you watch them all? That's funny. Well, there you go. If you're curious how I found the time to do it, apparently I delegated the task to BNU. That's so funny. Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Thankfully, you wouldn't have had to watch for inconsistencies with the runs. Yeah, that's true. That would not have been a thing, I guess, back then. Right? This is fun. Oh, a small snealed. Yeah, man. That small snealed. Isn't that something, though? It is amazing that we managed to still stick around. When I took my break, I took my break. I literally stayed away for years. And every now and then I would drop in for a very short time. But, you know, after the holidays happened, you know, when that horrible thing happened to my coworker, passed away from COVID-19, I just decided, you know what, I don't want any regrets. You know, I hopefully will live to be like, 90, but I could die next week. I don't know. Anything can happen, so I wanted no regrets, so I came back. And I came back as a retro gamer Twitch streamer that plays games poorly and watches speedruns on Mystical. From better people than myself. Not one anyone would remember, though, says the Cyrus Zeal. So 26 minutes and 20 seconds is the fastest. So yeah, this was a very not speedy speedrun, but for the time, you know. This probably was the world record back then. Like, if you look on speedrun.com, I don't think any of the runs on there existed in 1990 anything, am I right? Like, all of them would have been from, like, the mid-2000s on, probably. And this was 98. Aw, thanks, Mr. Stick Figure. Reed Tedium was kind enough to tweet out that he's hanging out with some peeps here in Twitch. Hello, I'm from Romnacking. What would you like? Ho ho ho, I'll tell you about the water of the spring. Oops, fallen asleep. Oh, this translation, my god. The water was poisoned. The poison is almost gone, so it's alright to wake him up. Watch. Something is wrong. Oops. Oh my god. Poison. Oh, potion. Yes, not poison. It's potion. It's potion. Potion. Oh boy. Chat, I'm just gonna take a quick bathroom break real quick, but I'm not gonna put the away message on. You keep watching. I'll be right back. I'm back! What'd I miss? Just made the link to the Discord permanent and non-changing, at least until you change it. Cool. Dead monster bread. It's that or wall meat. Later we get squid bread. Yeah, Dark Max, you and I both have been spoiled by better emulators. Especially, like, I took such a long break that when I came back and started dabbling in, like, you know, things like RetroArch with KMF3 Manix Amazing Cores, and then I come back to this, I'm like, whoa, we have rose-colored glasses when it comes to, you know, what we thought. But again, for the time, this was amazing. This sounded great. But no, it's not accurate at all. It's missing noise channel, and, you know, it's, the pitch in this version is closer, but it's still a little off. It doesn't have that staccato sound. So, yeah, it is off. There's no question. There's no question. Every 7 days it would reset. Sorry, I know worries. Rose-colored headphones, yeah. Exactly.
Secure all positions. Here we go. Full ahead. Next stop, Zophar's domain.
Chris P. Bacon, thank you so much for the follow and for joining the realm and the domain. Your support is greatly appreciated. Eber, the ADSR on some of the sound channels is off. Should be a much tighter release on the pulse channels. Yes, all correct. There's no question about it. But yeah, it's we were all, you know, back then, a lot of us were kids, teenagers, and, you know, we weren't really listening that closely. At least I won't speak for everybody. I wasn't. I was just amazed after, you know, a year of playing Pacifami with no sound, or INES with... You think this is bad, like, this is... Check out INES. And no disrespect, by the way, to Murat Faizulin, another amazing emulator author, but INES sound in Windows 95 running DirectX 1 was bad. Like, really bad. Imagine what it sounded like in that Nesticle 0.20 version that I showed you at the beginning of the stream, but imagine if it was all crackly and distorted and it kept coming in and out. That was what INES sounded like. Yeah. A modern runner would have eaten those hits more than likely. Yeah, rather than try to like dodge out or block them. You remember using a Pentium MMX for emulation. Was amazed when you got PCSX running on that. I never had a original Pentium. I had a 486-66. Then I moved on to a Cyrix chip, 686 P166 Plus, and then I jumped to a Pentium 2. I think it was a P2. Did I jump to a P2 or did I jump to a P3? No, I think I had a Pentium 2, like 233, and then I got a Pentium 3 500 after that. Yeah, I think that was the progression. And yet, the iNES format still lives on. Yep, that's right. All the NES ROMs that you have seen that are ending in NES are all the original iNES format. Marat Faizulin. Yep. Anybody know if Marat's still around? Does he dabble anywhere? I'd love to say hi to him again one of these days. iNES was also the only option on Mac OS Classic for ages. That's true, until Richard Bannister came along and started porting stuff. And RockNES changed that, yeah. Spring of Trunk. Deaver says, I wasn't picky about these issues either. He was just stoked to be able to play basically any NES game that you wanted on the computer. Yeah, same here. Discovered so many more games than I would have otherwise. It's true. It really opened up a whole window. For me, I just wanted to be able to play my games again. Like, my game stopped working. Like, I have this game, but I guarantee if I put this in a real NES, it wouldn't work. My original Faxanadu cartridge, right here. No telling. But here it is. And no, I don't have the Boxer manual, sadly, anymore. It is lost to the sands of time. That's right! Make it a point, you know, as the person that founded Zophar's domain. Yeah, MerPPC, I'm thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it. I might. I make it a point to show when I play a game. I have the game. Like, I have it. I own it. But yeah, honestly, everyone, that was why for me, that was my thing. I just wanted to be able to play the games again. Like, half of them stopped working, blowing on the cartridges, though you would think I thought at the time it was helping. It's not helping, it was making it worse. It was an illusion. All I was doing was making it dirtier and messing up the contacts even more. Last iNES came out in March 2021. Oh wow, I guess he is still around. That's super recent. Flythought says, meanwhile today we have Messin, which is getting close to Cycle Perfect. I haven't messed with that one. Inverse phase. Laptop is crying from all this shit you're throwing at it. Gonna give it a rest. Also need to give yourself a rest. No worries, Inverse phase. I appreciate you coming on in. Hope you had fun. Dreaming Rain, then Metal NES, which will be transistor accurate. So, has anyone tried Metal NES yet? That's the new Iceratus FPGA emulator, right? Flyfoth has a Mr. Corn backorder. Yeah, it's the joy of the backordered chip situation we're in right now. Dreaming Rain thinks you have it on Cart 2, but haven't tried to play it yet. A Q-tip with isopropyl. Yes, Hancor, that is what you should do. Top loader NES. Yeah, all of my NESs that were not top loading stopped working after like 1 to 2 years. But the top loader, I think, still works. As long as you delete the ROM in 24 hours, yeah. I always used to laugh when I would see that stuff. Like, I was like, that's such a crock, please. And delete the ROM within 24 hours. There's so many fun little pieces of misinformation back then. It was fun. It was fun, Dreaming Rain. Fixing the games by making the contacts rusty, exactly. I'm sorry, Frogmeat. It censors out any URLs that are not, if you're not a VIP. But if you want to text that over to Soda Bagoda, one of our mods, Soda Bagoda can go check it out and paste it in here. As long as it's, you know, an appropriate URL. Reed Tedium, last spring you bought the Laser 386 model that you owned when you were 12. You should set it up and run Nesticle off it. Remember to get it running. Yeah, you should. I bet you it would run. I'm pretty sure anything 386 or higher, as far as the code, it was capable of. Now, I don't know what the speed on a 386 would be like, but it would probably run. Just maybe not necessarily very well. Yeah, Clyfoth remembers the rule. Yeah, ridiculous. No such thing. I read them on like every other site, but it wasn't real. So much work for so little benefit. You've only had front loaders, but none of them ever died on you. You still have one that works. Yeah, I think mine still works. It's in a box upstairs in my attic somewhere. Soda Pagoda says, yo, Mercury PC. I sent my NES to one of the admins of DCM UK for repair. They sold it. Oh my god, really? That's crazy. Clyfoth said, the actual rule makes it legal only if you rip the ROM yourself. Yeah. There is no 24-hour rule. It's not real. You are, though, the copyright law, it was much more hazy around, could you make backups? And that was always the thing that always, like, lived in the gray. Like, when I left Zophar's domain, I'm not going to go too deep into this, but for a very short period of time, my successor thought it would be a good idea to sell copiers, I don't know why, on Zophar's domain, and Nintendo did not agree with that, and that very quickly went away. So, yeah, the law's always been kind of hazy on, are you entitled to... It's not that you're entitled to own backups, like, I think the law's pretty clear on that. It's more of, like, in order to get the backup onto your device, computer, whatever, the method in which you choose to do it, you know, are you breaking proprietary... Like, there's all... It gets so hazy, like... How did you break the copy protection, and was it legal in the manner in which you did that, and... You know, I try not to get in the weeds with that stuff. All I know is, we're watching Faxanadu right here. That's all that matters. Oh yeah, that's Marat's website, comkin.org. Yes, correct, Clive. Legally entitled to a copy of your own game. Of course, years later, you see now, like, software where you're basically not buying software, you're buying licenses, right? Like, can't remember the last time you were able to buy a regular copy of Microsoft Office. It's, you buy a 1-year license for this amount of money, which entitles you to put it on X amount of computers for X amount of time, but you don't actually own the software. But when you bought video games, there was no licensing. So, yeah. The fog effect is not going so well. No, it's not. Yeah, I should have pointed that out, but that was another thing that the Nesticle couldn't do properly. The power of the wing boots is gone. Ooh, a little worried. I hope it doesn't desync it. It still looks like it's going. Still going. Office 22 Enterprise is out. Nice. Yeah, touche, PC. Yeah, read tedium. Yeah. Yeah. There's always one. You can't get along. We can't get along with everybody, right? There's always that one person that you just disagree on everything about. Like everything. The bagpipes, yeah. Yeah, Tiber, totally sounds like the bagpipes are just kind of like wheezing out. Sounds like a dying elephant. Movies and music argued that your license was for the content on that media to bypass the backup argument. Yeah, that's the eternal... yeah, exactly, Retedium. We'll leave it at that. You and I both will leave it at that. Oh my god. You know what it is? You ever... Okay, this is gonna sound really bad. I shouldn't even say this next part. It's like, Harry Potter. You ever watch or read the Harry Potter books or watch the Harry Potter movies? And it's like Lily and James put their faith in the wrong person. Remember the secret keeper, Peter Pettigrew? Yeah. Sometimes you put your faith in, you know, a person that doesn't work out, that's all. It's alright. It all worked out in the end. I like to think it did. The universe corrects itself. So chat, this is really exciting. The, I don't want to jinx it, but so far so good. So far, so clunk. As the amazing Arcus of Ninja Gaiden speedrunning fame would say. I've been doing a lot of dabbling the last few months of watching Ninja Gaiden streams. I like to watch Arcus sometimes, and I like to watch the Retro Runner. Retro Runner is the current world record holder of Ninja Gaiden. He's an awesome dude. Great personality, always exciting to watch. Really, him and Arcus both just put their heart and soul into their work. Like, I couldn't play a video game that many times in a row. There's no way. I'd lose my mind. I would lose my darn mind. But they can do it. And like I said, the only speedrunning I can say I really entered a contest in was Shining Wisdom for Saturn in '96. And I won a poster, top 100. And that's it. And after I did that, I realized I will never again be in a contest. But I had a lot of interest in watching people do it. That's why, you know, you're seeing this. You know, there was Metroid, there was this, Faxanadu. I had a Ghosts and Goblins contest. We did Solstice, which Hungry Goria just recently ran through. I don't know if you're a fan of Hungry Goria. She's an awesome retro streamer as well. So we watched that. Yeah, Harry Potter definitely associated with putting faith. Oof, ouch, yeah. Yeah, ow. Yeah, that's a tough one for sure. Well said, Dreaming Ring. Well said. Yeah. Yep. Those tambourine enemies can go straight to hell. I'm not kidding. You can really hear the sound emulation not being accurate in parts like this. Yeah. Ghosts and Goblins is ridiculous. So Solstice, but Ghosts and Goblins is worse. So hard. And there's a little shout out for Hungry Goria right now. Fortunately, it was a very short clip there. This is working out really well. I'm really impressed that it's working exactly as it was in 1998 so far. Like, inaccuracies and all, but it's working. You are getting to see what it was like. Exactly what it was like to be around in 98, running an emulator, playing a game on it, doing a speedrun before they were called speedruns. You're getting to experience it, chat. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're having fun. Also want to say a word on all of the support. I can't thank you all enough. The amount of support that we've gotten since I came back in January has been unbelievable. You know, what are we up to right now? 741 followers, 178 subs. Really appreciate all the support, everybody. It means a lot to me. It really does. No, it's all good, Soda Pagoda. MerPPC says, what are your thoughts on VLC now being able to play? Yeah, I noticed that, MerPPC. The way I noticed that was on a stream I was playing, I wanted to play, I forget which it was an NSF file, I think, actually. I don't remember what game. And I was trying to get it to work in, what's it called, Audio Overload for Mac, which I think is a Richard Bannister sound emulator. But I accidentally opened it in VLC, and I was like, oh crap, I didn't mean to do that. And VLC loaded. I'm like, whoa, this is a thing now. So my answer is I think that's amazing and awesome. And it works well. It works really well. Bieber, the answer is my term for speedruns, I called them contests. It was a contest to see how fast you could speed your way through a game. So, like, if you remind me after the stream, if you didn't see it at the beginning, oh, hey, Aurora Visage, how you doing? Actually, sorry, wow, I totally lost my train of thought there. Soda Pagoda, would you mind giving a shout out to Aurora Visage? For those that don't know Aurora Visage, she is another amazing retro streamer. Does all kinds of retro. She's been playing a lot of Mega Man recently. And you absolutely need to follow her if you don't already. Now, I'm not going to pause the speedrun just because I don't know if it will desync, but I will narrate for you what is happening. We're getting crushed by some dwarves.
And Moise? Did that say?
Now we're getting gold.
Did I read that?
Now he's used the red potion.
Enough of that, usually. Let's go.
Wait, I'll do it in like a baseball voice. He's moving and grooving. Swing and a miss. Hits the wand enemies. 1 gold. 1 gold, bases loaded. MerPPC, when you talk about NSFE files, can you elaborate? I don't know if I'm familiar with NSFE. I know NSF, because that was the original Nintendo sound format from the actual ROM, but what's NSFE? Also, you can use some of them. NSF and SPC in particular can be used as level music in Doom levels for GZ Doom. Oh, that's cool to know. I actually, I don't know if any of you were on my stream a few weeks ago, but the new level that Romero released for Doom 2, I used GZ Doom on the Mac to load that level into Doom 2. That was pretty fun. Yeah, you were on my stream. I'm pretty sure you were giving me a hand with that. You were definitely on my stream for that. And no problem, Aurora Visage. I'm sorry I keep butchering your name there. You're very welcome. And Melpominion just realized that VLC can play VGM files. That is correct. Do I know Dish? NSFE is NSF plus metadata, like song titles bundled into one file. Oh, okay. I got you now. Yeah, I was just about to say, after I said it, Rain, I was like, wait a minute, of course, you were helping me. Like, you weren't just helping me, you were basically the player, and I was just holding the controller and entering inputs. Like, you know what it was like? It was like that scene in Jurassic Park, where, Hammond is walking, I forget what the name of the, character was, but he was walking him through, like, alright, now look, do you see pipes? Alright, now, go here, now, pull the thing, and it was like that. Like, I got through that because of you. NSFE can also do stereo. That's cool. It's hard to pronounce the screen name. It's fine. AV works if that's easier. Well, let me try saying it one more time. Auroral Visage. Ha! I got it that time. I can get it. I just gotta say it like 1,000 times. Oh, we got Full Plate. We got Matok. Oh, it's the Nello I Self Sneals guy, and we didn't make fun. Damn it. We'll get him next time. For those just coming on in, we are watching a speedrun of Faxanadu right now, as done on the Nesticle emulator from 1998. And this is Boar's, at the time, I believe this was a world record speedrun, because there was no speedrunning back then. It was a contest. It was a Zophar's Domain contest in 1998. Boar's won $75 for this run. It wasn't even called a run back then, it was just a contest. I didn't know what to call it. Dish is known primarily for FF Hackster, still the most featureful FF1 hacking tool. He did a lot of other random stuff too, though. Interesting. Don't give me an out. Yeah, you can't give me an out. One of the things I'm known for is butchering people's names. Like, you might think I'm known for Zophar's Domain, but that's not what I'm really known for. I can't pronounce words. Yeah, so Melpominion. This contest, the top winner, the one that had the fastest time in completing the game, would receive a $75 cash gift, which I wrote a personal check to that person. So, I took $75 and I wrote a check and I mailed it to him. And that was how I did it. I probably should have used Western Union. That's not what I did. I wrote a check. I surely did. Every enemy is the worst in this game. No, I'm just kidding. Got a key A. Now, every enemy in the thing with them is you can't see them firing at you. Like, you'll just be standing there and then all of a sudden you'll just get hit. Like, I think they're like throwing like invisible projectiles is what they're doing. I want to say yes because I'm like really anal with that stuff, PPC. And so I think, even though I can't remember a lot of stuff from back then without referring to notes and stuff, I'm like positive if he hadn't cashed the check, I would have made a thing about it. And I would have been like, hey, why didn't you cash the check yet? Like, I had a little checkbook and everything, and I would write down all the... Again, this was the 90s. I wrote all the numbers down and, you know, how much money was supposed to be in my account versus what was actually taken out. So I'm 99.9% sure that the check was cashed. So... the check was in the mail, I swear. Correct, Dreaming Ring. Ace, King, Queen, Jack, and Joker as well. Oh my god. The weeds! The weeds! The weeds! The weeds! Thank you, Things of Your Mind, for redeeming the weeds. That actually happened, that was courtesy, I think that was Soda Bagoda was kind enough to clip that, if I remember. But, we were talking about getting in the weeds. The bees! The bees! The bees! There's the original. Just like that, like 5 times. Like... We got the weeds, we got the bees. So thank you, both Things of Your Mind and Soda Bagoda, for spending your hard-earned 1,000 silver apiece on the weeds and the bees. I feel like I owe somebody something. I owe somebody 1,000 silver back. Soda Bagoda, can you remind me who I owe that to? I made a note that I owe that to someone, but I didn't write down who. Cool. Interrupting the run that can't be paused. That's part of the fun. You're making an investment in the weeds. Yes, you are, things of your mind. And we appreciate that investment. Oh, we got the dragon helmet. Or sorry, the battle helmet is what it's actually called. The battle helmet. We'll get the battle snealed, the battle helmet. Was it Melpomenian? Melpomenian, I think I owe it to you, right? Pretty sure. Well, see, this is the thing. You can pause it. I want to be clear. It has a pause. It's just, I vividly remember when you pause it, you're increasing the risk that something will go wrong and it will desync. Because remember, this is not an actual movie file. This is nothing more than the emulator running this game real time. Right now, it's running the game, and instead of it taking inputs from me on a controller or a keyboard, it's reading a file and looking at every frame, and the file is telling the emulator what key it should be inputting, or keys. And so, it wasn't perfect. Which is why I'm really impressed that so far this is very reliable and it's working as intended in DOSBox. But I'm worried if I pause it. Yes, he touched Potion. Potion. Maniacal laugh. Yeah, I think it's Melpomenian that I owe that to. This is reminding you that you need to play Crystallis. Yeah, I was not good at that game. I didn't get very far. Whenever you can put your mister together, says Clyfok, you plan to play some old stuff you've been avoiding. Or pause DOSBox. Yeah, like Dreaming Rand, what I would do is, like, after the stream, like, I would play around with that kind of stuff. Yes, so things to remind, I'm sorry. So for those just coming on in, we are watching a speedrun right now. This is not me playing. I am not doing the speedrun. I am not that skilled. I mean, I could speedrun this, but it would be like, it would take me like 2 hours or some ridiculous time. I've beaten this game many times as a kid. Those that didn't see, I own this game. Auroral Visage has an amazing copy of this game in the original box and manual and everything. It's very visible, actually, when she streams. This was actually, if you're wondering what my favorite Nintendo game was, this was it. Now you all know, Zophar's favorite Nintendo game was Faxanadu, and incidentally, it is the only game that I have listed on my About page as a game I definitely will be streaming at some point. Does this count, by the way? No, this doesn't count, because I'm not actually playing it. But yeah, so we're watching Boars, who won $75 from the Zophar's Domain speedrunning contest, but it wasn't called speedrunning back then, in 1998. This was the best music, by the way, in the game. Most people say it's that first Outer World music that you get, but I think it was this. Honestly, all the music in this game is great. It's all great. Reed Tedium says you gotta get back to writing Alas, but this was fun. Yeah, thanks for stopping on by. And yeah, Star Tropics was another fun game that I never beat. But I appreciate you coming by, Reed Tedium, aka Stick Figure, original Zophar's Domain staffer, OG96. Appreciate you. Come around more, we miss you. Yeah, Aurora Visage, I figured you did. You have it very prominently displayed. This is my, like I said, favorite Nintendo game. Like, one of these days, what I want to do is, I want to buy, like, an actual, I want the box and the manual back. I'm a little bitter, like, my parents threw all that stuff away. I mean, we didn't know that it would be, like, a collector thing one day, but we kept the games, fortunately. Didn't trade them all in. Exactly. Thanks for sticking around, Stick Figure. Ba-dum-bumts. I shall give you a title. Streamer! Make sure you live up to it. It would be a speedrun sans a speed. Yeah, exactly, things of your mind. Awesome, Reed Tedium. Take care. Soda Pagoda says the game was fun other than the extra long password. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. Like, there would be moments where I would just rage so hardcore. I remember there was one time, like, a little baby, I cried my eyes out. I was like 10 years old, maybe? And, like, I wrote everything down, but I messed up, like, either the 0 was an O, or the 1 was an L, or the N and an H, and it was such a... there were so many, like, O's and L's and 1s in this password that, like, the permutation of me to get it right, I would have had to try, like, 200 different combinations, and I couldn't figure it out, and I had to start the game over. I was so upset. I was so upset. And then after that happened, what I would do is I would play the game, and whenever I felt like I was going to stop, I would look at the password, and if there were any L's, 1s, 0s, or O's, I would just play a little bit more and then try to get one that didn't have those characters in it. How ridiculous is that? Oh my god. I got the magical rod. Oh, that's cool. Lifebot says you wish you'd gotten the actual Xanadu games. Yeah, because this was there was a whole series, right? And this was just the Famicom version of it, like an offshoot, right? Like it was like a spin-off, I think. And this would just be a Let's Play now. Yeah, that's true. This thing right here is the easiest boss in the game. As long as you have a longsword or better, it didn't really take much. Why do you think he's just standing still there? I hate when game fonts, number, and letters are too similar. Yeah, tell me about it. You got the battle suit. I would think that's strategy. Again, this was 1998, but it probably is faster to, like, back and forth, maybe? Or maybe he was worried about dying? Why is he trying to die here? Oh, yeah, he probably thinks it's faster to start back at the town. Or take a picture. Yeah, there was no digital cameras. I had Polaroid. I had a Polaroid camera, and I asked my dad, actually, if I could do that, and he let me take one picture of the screen, but then he's like, that's it, and I was like, that's not going to work. Because that film was expensive. What was it, like, you got maybe 12 pictures for every, you know, cartridge of Polaroid film, and it was like $7 or $8 per cartridge back then, which, you know, was a lot of money then. Actually, I think it was more than 7 or 8. It might have been like more like $12 or $13. Yeah, the Dragon Slayer series is the Xanadu series. I think you're right. Or very carefully draw the exact shape of the letters. That's the problem, Dreaming Rain. You really had to look carefully, and on a CRT TV, it was hard to tell. Like the zeros, I think, had like maybe a line in them, and the O's didn't. But you really had to look. And the L's and the 1s, forget it. I don't know how the hell you tell the difference there. King Key. Still better than East 3, though. That. Don't have negative thoughts. That's right. Remember your save state. Not your mantra, your save state. Yeah, I recorded onto VHS. Well, the funny thing about that thing, to remind, is I had a VCR then, as most people did. But I did... The Nintendo was running on coax, and it was going into... Like, each of... Like, I had a whole daisy chain. The Nintendo was going into the Atari 2600 that I had, which was going into the VCR, which was going into the TV, and I never quite figured out like how to record it properly. I would end up trying to record it, but I'd be on the wrong input, or I'd get like the TV instead of the game, and I couldn't figure it out until years later. Hyphen and underscore got you. Yeah, they're very similar. Yeah, I didn't no composite. I didn't have anything other than coax until like when I got the Sega Genesis. I convinced my dad to let me get an S-video cable. And I was like, whoa, look at the graphic upgrade, man. S-Video, we're fancy now. Like, it looks so amazing. Like, in my head it did, you know. S-Video on a CRT tube TV looked great to me. You watch it now, you're like, oh god, no. But I'll tell you what, if you do that with the Retro Tink, Mike Chi's amazing converter, that makes a lot of consoles look really good. When we start streaming Sega Saturn, and hopefully a few weeks, once we're done Shining Force 2, you're going to see the Retro Tink in action. And I'll tell you, man, the Sega Saturn hooked with a SCART cable to the Retro Tink, it looks nice. Like, better than I remember. Usually it's the reverse. Everything I remember it looking great, and then when you actually play it years later, you're like, oh, this isn't as good as I remember. But that thing makes it look better. It really does. Mike Chi's a genius. Things of your mind remembers S-Video. Yeah, I think the whole concept was it split, what was it, the gamma signal from the rest of the signal? Whereas Component actually separated out 2 of the 3 colors, and then the gamma signal, I think. I think I'm right about that. Yeah, my PS2, I upgraded it also from composite to components. I could tell the difference with that, though. That I could tell. Clifot says you moved up to composite with the SNES, but I think either your machine or cord was faulty because it usually gave a black and white signal. That's interesting. I have to think about why that would happen. And the Guardian Legend had umlauts for every lowercase letter. Umlauts? Yeah, I'm gonna sound stupid here. I don't know what an umlaut is. What's an umlaut? Tell me about an umlaut. I know I should know what this is. I'm probably gonna feel silly. Dreaming Rain says, turns out the component cables were more expensive, like 20 or 50. Oh yeah, component cables were ridiculous. Because it's basically 3 separate cables. Like, each cable is its own composite cable, plus you still need the audio cables. So really, it'll be 5 cables if it's stereo. You'd have The 3 video cables and the 2 audio cables. Clayfot says playing a certain area of secret mana. Ooh, we're getting to the end of the run now. Playing a certain area of secret mana without color is not fun if you don't know it. Yeah, good point. I know exactly the area you're talking about. That would be tough. 2 dots above a letter. Oh, okay. So that's called a... Sorry, 1 second here. Okay, sorry about that. Got distracted there. So the O with 2 dots is called an umlaut. I never knew that. Now I know. And knowing is half the battle. I feel like there's a redemption for that. Umlaut. Okay, umlaut. Umlaut, like that. You'd figure I would know this stuff by now, especially playing Gabriel Knight 2 all that time. Green is the... Now everybody's doing that's funny. Green is the actual image. Each of the other 2 connectors is Luma and Chroma. Okay, that's... You're right. You're right, Clotha. You're right.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Thanks, Things of Your Mind, for redeeming Now I Know. Great use of 1,000 silver. Yeah, exactly, Mer PPC. The other half is red and blue lasers. Incidentally, this is neither here nor there, but if anybody here happens to know how I could get in touch, just to say hi, I haven't talked to him in a very long time, knows how to get in touch with Edman of Zophar's Domain, the current owner, let me know. Or if you know how to get a hold of him, just tell him Zophar would like to say hi. I haven't talked to him in many years. I want to see how he's doing. It's usually called YPBPR, yeah. Green is basically a black and white image, but using the whole cable to be sharper. The other cables have color info. Right. That's right. I learned a little bit about it reading up on the Retro Tink. Yeah, Mike Cheese got like all kinds of... There's a video he's got on his website that's like 2 hours long, where all he does is literally talk about every single feature of the latest version of the firmware of the Retro Tink 5X. It's an amazing watch. I didn't watch the whole thing yet. I only watched parts of it. But he's really... Wow, he's very intelligent. Like, that you could tell he put so much love into the Retro Tink. Like, I'm excited to be able to stream with it soon. That'll be in a few weeks, hopefully, chat. A few weeks when we start streaming Saturn, I will be using the Retro Tink. God, the sound here is so jarring, because I know what it's supposed to sound like. And it's not this. That's okay. That's right, Zophar sends his regards. But in a good way, not a bad way. I like Edman. Edman's good people. Yeah, I thank you for saying so, Things of Your Mind. It took me a while to figure out which lunar emoticons to, utilize from the game, and I came up, I decided that the 3 ones I really wanted in here were the Luna one, well, the Dark Goddess, that's that one that Dream and Rain is using, a Lucia one where it looks like she's given a side eye. I had to really sort through a bunch of stills from the game, from the animated cutscenes to find that. I think we're near the end, chat, like very close to the end of the game now. And, the Galleon raid icon. And there's another one in there, but I'm not really happy with it, and that's Omni Zophar from the Sega CD version of Lunar 2. That one, though, you can't, it's too small. Like, when I first started in Twitch in January, well, actually, so Tiber, we do have Null in here, but it's a 9-month sub, so the first person to get to 9 months, which can't really happen until at least September, the icon is actually Null, believe it or not. So, like, you're a 1-month subscriber, so you have Ruby. The 9-month emoticon is Null. What I probably should have done is I probably should have made Ruby or Null 1 and 2, and then done other stuff for the others, but I wasn't thinking that far ahead. Clyfoth, so even though we don't have SCART in the US, there's no reason why you can't just buy a SCART cable and hook it to a Retro Tink, and now you have SCART. Convert to HDMI, that's what I do. That's what I'm doing for the Saturn. The Saturn's running out with a SCART cable into the Retro Tink, and the Retro Tink's going to be running HDMI out right into my Elgato HD60S Plus, and then that's going into my Mac. But yeah, we probably need to get some more Null in here. You're right. You're right, Peter. The problem, though, is that I can't add any more emoticons now without removing others. I've used all of the slots, and it doesn't matter how many more subscribers we have. I mean, it matters. We love subscribers. But, like, from the perspective of emoticons, the max subscribers have been unlocked for the emoticons, and the only way to get more now is if we reach partner status. So to reach partner status to get more emoticons, we have met every requirement to apply except for the hardest one, which is average viewers. So we have to have an average of 75 viewers over a 30-day period in order to qualify. Oh, we got the Dragon Slayer! In order to qualify to apply for partner. So, like, to give you an example, like right now we have, what do we have, like 30, 31 viewers, something like that? Yeah, 30 viewers. So we would need 75 viewers over a 30-day period. Once we achieve that, I'll be able to apply for partner status. I anticipate that's not going to be at least I think that's a year away at the least. But that will unlock more emoticons once we are able to do that. And there's no guarantee, by the way. Twitch has to approve that, and they make that decision. But I'm always trying to think ahead, think down the line. That's how it always was with Zophar's domain. So Clypebot says you need a splitter anyway, so it's a component/S video. Tidver says Giant Dragon waits patiently while you chug multiple red drinks. Yeah, exactly. Use the sword to defeat the evil one in the fortress. This will open the door to the fortress. Demon's Ring. Got S video on your N64. Yeah, so the N64, Clyfoth, I read that unless you do like a hardware mod on it, the best you can get on N64 is S video. Like, there's just nothing made for it that supports component or otherwise. But I also can tell you that I ran my N64 using composite through the RetroTink. Looks really good, considering. Gonna get, hopefully, component for Saturn. Get SCART. Get SCART for the Saturn and hook it to a RetroTink. I'm telling you, it makes such a massive difference. Like, it really does. MerPPC says the tax paperwork's a pain in the arse for that. Are you talking about tax paperwork when it comes to, like, Twitch streaming? Or did I miss a part of the conversation here? Or are you talking about, like, ordering stuff from outside the US? Composite was surprisingly clear. Oh, yeah. I think this is the last segment now where he's gonna go to the final boss. Pretty sure. Chat, this is awesome. It hasn't desynced yet. I don't want to jinx it, but it hasn't desynced, and I'm pretty sure this is the last segment now.
Secure all positions. Here we go.
Oh, so Dreaming Rain. I'll show you the RetroTink in a
Full
second,
ahead.
actually.
Next stop, Zophar's domain.
Gabby Lucifer 666, by the way, awesome name. Thank you so much for the follow and for joining the realm and the domain. Your support is greatly appreciated. So yes, the RetroTink is a scaler/converter. So it has inputs for composite, S-video, component, and SCART. I think it has those four. I'm pretty sure it has those four. I use SCART, and I've been running the Saturn on it recently, and it has so many features. Unlike the stuff you buy off Amazon, where it's like you just hook it up and hope for the best, and it either looks good or it doesn't. This has, it's using, first of all, the RetroTink 5X, the one I have, that Mike Chi was kind enough to get for me, actually uses FPGA technology. The same technology that Mister's used, that MerPPC is trying to get me into. You're getting close, by the way. I'm very interested. I've been watching some videos on it. But, so it does like everything. It has anti-aliasing, scan lines, like 10 different versions of scan lines, like 12 different resolutions. You can downscale it, you can upscale it. It does 1440, 1080, 720, like, it's crazy. This is the end of the game, by the way, chat. This is it. This is the final boss. The most anticlimactic final boss in any game you'll ever find. Maybe not any game, but most games. And that's it. That's Faxanadu. We made it to the end without a desync. 1 hour, 1 minute, and some seconds. I should have put up like a little timer, right? That would have been, I think, better for a speedrun. Or at least like the frame counter. Oh, so this is where the NES movie ends, so I guess I have to click through to the end now. Code please. Glad to have you back safely. It will take time, but the elves and the dwarves will become friends and return the peace to this land, as it used to be. I understand you will leave to continue your journey. What a restless guy. And there you go. That is Faxanadu speedrun, won by Boars. He won the $75 prize, as played on Nesticle in 1998, chat. There you have it. That was a dwarf, actually, Melpominion. That was a dwarf. Yeah, and it deals with odd refresh rates, that's correct. You can manually alter how to display scan lines, the rough data you can see in the background. All true, yep, all true. You can save up to 10 different presets on it. Like, there's so much it does that I'm not even talking about. It's really, really good. Aurora Visage says nice. Good game, boars, wherever you may be. Yeah, I sometimes wonder, like, what happened to some of the users of Zophar's domain. Like, maybe one day he'll come back, and others will too.
100 bits. Yay, notice.
Things of your mind. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. Greatly appreciate that. Very kind, very generous of you. Yay, no desync. Yep, it said stop playing, so now you manually advance through the game. Yep, because once the movie stops playing, all it means is it stops feeding controller input to the emulator. So there it is. That's Faxanadu. I feel like, chat, I might have prepared one more speedrun, actually. If you want to hang out, give me a second and see what it is. I'm pretty sure I put another one in there. To do that, let me exit the emulator real quick, and I'm going to go see what it is. You're probably not going to see anything for a minute here, so bear with me. Yeah, so... What time is it? 12:27? I have a Metroid speedrun in here, but I don't know how long this is. I think it's like 45 minutes. Does anyone want to see one more? Hey there, Speedy De Palma. How you doing? I think I have a... Yeah, I think this is a Metroid speedrun. Hey, Soda Bagoda, if you're still around, can you pop up like a really fast poll for me? Can you ask the chat, would you like to see one more speedrun? And if they do, it'll probably be Metroid. And if the majority wants to see it, we'll see it. And if the majority does not, then we will not. Make it a pretty quick poll, like 2 or 3 minutes, I would say. In the meantime, we'll go back in here. Let's make sure we have the resolution. Yep, that's where we want it. And let's see. And I'll actually, let me come back over here real quick. We'll put the poll so you can see it, chat, right there. One more speedrun showing. And we'll go back in here. And we'll play a little Legend of Cage while we're waiting for that poll to end. Anyone who doesn't want to see it can just go somewhere else. Yeah, I know everyone's going to say yes. Like, why else would you be here, right? I'm just a poll guy. Ask anybody. I'm all about polls. I had a, oh, Jesus Christ. It's so hard on a keyboard, chat. Eventually, I'm going to get the controller working on this. But when I first started doing this, I didn't have a controller. It was all keyboard. No! No. Womp womp. The world record for Faxanadu is 26 minutes, 20 seconds, and 0 milliseconds. Yeah, the sound really is something brutal, isn't it? Oh, but it was so amazing in 97, 98. It really was. You can't even, like, hit 2 keys at the same time on my keyboard because it's not a gaming keyboard. Like, if I try to do that, like, I end up alt-tabbing, look like the window's disappearing on me right now. And dead. Mer PPC is staring at his 8-bit dude. Quite a nice controller. Don't tempt me, Frodo! I will not take it! Alright, it's pretty obvious what we all want here, so we're gonna get ready now. I don't know if this is gonna work, by the way. I only tested the one movie, and only very briefly. I didn't test this one at all. So I have no idea if this is gonna work. I had only prepared to do one. Let's see what happens. Looks like it's working. There we go. So, yeah, Streaming Rain. This is exactly the same scenario as the last one. This is Metroid on Nesticle 0.42. Oh, you want me to show off the retro tank? Yeah, good call, things your mind. Hold on one second. I will definitely do that. Oh. Okay. I had to disconnect it from my Saturn. So, this is the RetroTink 5X. So to be good, if you wouldn't mind putting in the RetroTink URL in the chat while I'm showing this off. It should be retrotink.com, I think. Here's the back. And so, sorry about the green screen's going to interfere a little bit here, so just do your best to ignore the stupid green screening. But, so look, you have, show a little better. So you got S video right here, and then you have components / composite that are shared, right? So the, it's actually, this slot, yeah, I think it's the Y is shared. I think Y is shared with composite. So if you do these three here, and then here's your component, and then here's HDMI, and then over here, this right here is a USB micro or mini. I think that's mini. And that's to power the RetroTink. So the other end, you just plug into any USB source and it'll power it. And then over here is SCART. So the way I'm going to do this when I do my Saturn emulation is I have a SCART cable going from here to the Saturn. And then I'm going to have HDMI going to my Elgato device, my Elgato HD60S capture device. And then this is going to be run into a USB port, on the computer. It also has some buttons on the front. I never use them though, I use the remote control. But like you can turn it on and off and change inputs this way. It came in this very nice beige bag. And it also came with, this is the RetroTink 5X, by the way. Came with this little decal sticker, which I'm not going to stick on things because I don't stick stickers anywhere. I just like to keep them because I'm weird. And it came with this nice little card. RetroTink 5X Pro. And then a little like quick setup sheet right here. And again, this is the brainchild of one Mike Chi, who is active on Twitter. And he's a really great dude, and he actually has a Discord as well. So I highly recommend, if you are into retro gaming, and you want your game to look as good as it can possibly look, this is what you need. Any system that does not natively output to HDMI, this is what you need. The RetroTink 5X Pro. So there you go, Mike Chi. I am happy to plug you, sir. Because you make a really great piece of hardware. Yeah, it's the sound channel the emulator should fail to play, exactly. Let me scroll up, I know I missed a ton here. Fingers crossed for Monster Party. Welcome, Speedy De Palma. Yes, yes, yes. Very Star Warsy of you. That's the goal. Now, there's a name I haven't heard in a long time. A poll about the poll. I love polls about polls, things in your mind. Oh, that's right. That was what the Don't Tempt Me comment was about. See, I was going out of order before. The keyboard issue could be fixed. Yeah, I know. There's another weird issue. Speaking of weird issues with, like, can't press multiple keys. On my Retrobit 6-button Sega Genesis controller, you can't hold A and start at the same time. It doesn't work. I figured that out when I was on a stream trying to get the Sonic the Hedgehog code to work. You know how you do up, down, left, right, hold A, start? And I'm like, why is this not working? It's just not working. And I subbed it out for a 3-button controller, and it worked. And I'm like, really, Retrobit? You gotta be kidding me. So, you know, there's that stuff. So now you see what the RetroTink's all about. Melpominian's asking when this playthrough was done, so hold on one second, I can answer that. Let me just load my browser here, and I will tell you exactly when this was. Uno momento, por favor. Going to my folder here. Zophar's domain NSM contests. So this, incidentally, was the very first speedrun we ever had. And I'm going to put this right here so you can kind of see it, chat. So, if you can't see it, it's okay, but I'll read it to you. So, this is Blazemore, May 8th, 1999. So that, I feel like it wasn't that old. I thought it was newer than that. Well, this says 5/8/99, so I'm gonna trust what this file says, but I'm a little suspect. I think this might be older than that. I think maybe we just repackaged the NSMs into a file, into like zip files. But according to this, it was May 8th, 1999. And it was Blazemore, and his fastest time, which at the time was the fastest time I had ever seen, was 42 minutes and 50 seconds. That is correct, MRPPC. So if you know that Blazemore is still somewhere, feel free to invite him to watch his, at the time, world record speedrun of Metroid. So yeah, basically they were packaged with the NSM file and then an FRM file which tells you information about the speedrun. So that's Metroid. I'll show off some others too while this is going. So the second contest we ever had was a Castlevania contest. Let me just open this up here. So, Castlevania 2. ZD NSM Contest 2. Castlevania 2 fastest completion time. This was a gentleman named Chris Sand, June 30th, 99. Alright, so the speedruns probably were from 99 then. I couldn't remember when I did the contest. I thought it was 98. Must have been 99. I'll trust my files. And Castlevania 2 fastest completion, 47 minutes and 56 seconds. So, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Now you can actually see what it says. So, that was the second contest we ever had. The third one we ever had was Ghouls and Ghosts. And this was somebody named... I think this was Alfred Monaco? Yep, here we go. This one had a $50 prize. Yep, and it was only one playthrough. I only required them to play through the game one time. And this one doesn't actually tell you how long it took, for whatever reason. It just doesn't tell you. Clearly, I should have cleaned this up before I moved on, right? But that was the third contest. Alfred Monaco won Ghosts and Goblins and won a $50 prize, courtesy of me. The fourth one we just talked about, and that was Faxanadu. And interestingly enough, we do have his name. Patrick Moralt, alias Boers. Agreed that Zophar's domain could use my NSM files in any way. Okay. Well, I'm not going to flash his email up here because I think that would be wrong, but could email him and say, hey, I just want to let you know, you showed off your speedrun, Boers. Tiber, I would have to think about that. In order to know the answer to that, I have to go to my Zophar's domain archive and pull the old news column and see what it says. Do you want me to look real quick? Let me look. Let me see if I can find out the answer to that. It may not display properly though in Safari, the website. Usually I'm in Windows 10 and I'm running or Windows XP for that. Let me see if I can get the answer for you in a second here. Let me just show off one more and then I will look. The last contest we ran was for Solstice. And that was somebody named Dalamar. And he beat Solstice in 9 minutes and 49 seconds with no deaths. And I'll show that one off right here. And that was also a $75 prize. And that was February 5th, 2000, Dalamar. Right there. How many emails from the 90s are still in use? That would have been several addresses ago for me, not to mention several names ago. I mean, I don't want to put this out there now. People start emailing me. But you may or may not be able to use my very last email on Zophar's domain, and it might still work. Really want to know. So some people that don't change, Just might. Yeah, I'm the exception, not the rule. Yeah, that was back when you used to flash your email address all over the place. Can you imagine that? To this day, I get so much spam because I had my email address up on Zophar's domain for a decent period of time. You know, what's spam? What's that? Yeah, Solstice was brutal. T says you're not super invested, just remember it's a bit of a pain finding a controller to work a damn off the computer. So the Microsoft Sidewinder, that was my go-to. That worked. That was about it. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I'm gonna say, Tiber, that we probably don't know if they used the controller or not, because back then, I don't remember caring about that. My feeling was just don't cheat, but you can use any controller input you want as long as it's you doing it. I didn't care enough. Like, I didn't put a whole lot of rules on them. It was just for fun. I'm just gonna reconnect the RetroTink real quick so don't forget about it. Be right back. One thing I forgot to show off, chat. This is the remote that the RetroTink comes with. Now, if you look at it, it's kind of generic. Like, I'm pretty sure that this remote probably exists for a lot of stuff, like Roku's and stuff like that. But it's very convenient. When, like, just now when I reconnected it, all I went down is I went in to reload the profile, and boom, just like that, got exactly what we needed to make the game look nice. Well, let me fix the lighting here. There we go. That should be better. Okay, so what'd I miss? Mer PPC used the PSX/2 to USB, or PS2 to USB on that. I know what you're talking about. Sloppy run by today's standards, but he's a human. He has a human touch. Someone just playing the game and trying to be quick about it. Exactly. I mean, after all, wasn't that in the beginning what it was all about? Is just try to get through the game as fast as you can. This is before people learned all the tricks and stuff, glitches and whatnot. But that being said, there's nothing wrong with the people that like I said, Retro Runner and Arcus, and there's so many amazing speedrunners that just spend so much time crafting, like honing their craft. It's amazing. But it was a different time. Like that wasn't what, all I wanted to do. I did not invent speedrunning, by the way, just to be clear. Many other people tried to beat games as fast as they could. But just for me, I thought like it'd be cool. Like the internet, you have all these people like that I don't know, and maybe like out there's people that are really good at these games, and I can see stuff I never saw before. I was like, that'd be cool. So let's see who can beat the game the fastest, and let's see if there's any cool like strategies that they use to get through it real fast. And that was fun to watch. I think it's really funny though that we had BNU in here earlier, one of my staffers from years ago, and he reminded me of something I had totally forgotten, which was that I had him going through some of the saves or some of the movies to figure that I didn't have the time to watch all of them. That's awesome. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, but this is what I've been saying every stream for those of you that have been sticking with me for the last few months. If it hadn't been for all the amazing staffers like BNU, like Stickfigure, like Infi and Alamone and Zip and all these people, it would never become what it became. There's no way. I couldn't have done that myself. No possible way. So, and Murky PC, who's here right now. So thank you. Big D! It's Big D! Have you been lurking this whole time, Big D, or did you just come on in? Oh, you said stuff earlier. I totally missed it. You said Zophar. I think you were in my stream when you played Metroid today. You now reply the favor. Yeah, I definitely am not playing this. This is better people than I. But yes, I was in your stream earlier. Thanks for coming on by. Yeah, I just realized you've been chatting, and I just been ignoring it. I'm sorry. I at various times I've been like looking at the game or grabbing my retro tank or showing off Faxanadu. Wait, we got to show off Metroid now, right? Hold on. Well, apparently my brother G. Levy still has Metroid at his house, but I will show off Legend of Kage, which I was playing right before this. And by the way, for many, many years, I thought this was pronounced The Legend of Cage, just so you know. This was the very first game that my parents ever bought me for the Nintendo in 1988. It came with Mario Duck Hunt, but that was included in it. So they bought this from a Sears catalog for me. I was 8 years old. 1988. Oh, noes. Uh-oh. Did we get a desync? Oh no. Chat, what happened? Chat, what happened? What happened? Did I press something? What is going on here? Well, that sucks. Was it explosions? Yar, Wally 4000, haven't seen you in this parts in a while. I might be walking the plank though, but thanks for redeeming the pirate hat. Me hearty. I don't know what happened to the game, but I think we got a desync, me hearties. We're gonna have to figure this out. Let's see here. Let's see if we can figure out what went wrong. First of all, let's fix the lighting. Okay. Lighting fixed. Second of all, you wanted me to belt one out? Ah, yeah, 10K. Definitely the glitch gremlin. I think we lost the run. I think that the run desynced. Because right now, nothing is happening. Did anybody see anything? Like, did it say movie ended or... Like, what happened? I have no idea what went wrong. Yeah, it desynced itself. You know why it probably desynced itself, chat? It probably desynced itself because we're playing in a newer version of the emulator and the timing was wrong. That sucks. Oh well. Run dead. Alright, I'll tell you what we'll do. I don't want to end on that note, and if we try it again, it's probably going to desync again. I think what we probably should do is, if you bear with me, we're going to try one last run, which is the 9-minute solstice run. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to give it a shot, so just bear with me. Just bear with me here, chat. We're going to go to the Be Right Back for this part. And I'll play some nice music for you all. Bear with me. BRB. All right. I think we're ready to give us another try. Let me just adjust the screen real quick for you, chat. Since we were just messing around with it a little bit. But I think, I'm pretty sure this will work. And we're using the latest version of Nestival as well for this. We need DOSBox. Make it a little smaller so we can actually see the whole thing. Okay, that's good. Lock preview. And we will load Solstice. All right, everybody ready for some Solstice? Here we go. I hope it works. Yeah, Wally, we're actually running Nesticle on DOSBox on a Mac. This is Tim Phone, or that was Tim Phone. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you're not a VIP or a mod, it will block your link, but if you want to send it to Soda Bagoda, who already guessed it, yes. But we just had the Equinox. Sadly enough, you got strikes from Rainwave. Oh, wow. Yikes. No. Well, why don't we start sticking to NSFs? So far, so good, I hope. So what is the world record for Solstice right now, chat? Somebody mind looking that up on speedrun.com? Get rid of the GUI there. So far, so good. Like, how would you know to, like... How do you know you're supposed to go this way? Like... You just have to just play this enough times to know, I guess. Oh, I'd lose my mind. You have to get like a pen and paper down and just start like plotting out the dungeon. 5 minutes, 35 seconds. Okay, so the 9-minute plus run here, I guess, for 19 or 2000 isn't too bad. Yeah, the wizard looks nothing like the one on the cover. Up we go. Ooh, dead things. I wasn't Wally 4000, but Hungry Goria was. So Hungry Goria is another amazing retro gaming Twitch streamer, and she was actually playing Solstice, I think, less than a week ago, and she beat it. I was in her stream for a little bit watching her, but I can't beat this game. It's too much to remember. This is not my kind of game, just so you know. This was more of like I wanted to see somebody go through this game, and I was pretty amazed. Like, again, this was, what, 22 years ago? I was really amazed in the speed at which they were able to get through this. So I wonder, the one that's like a 5-minute run, they must take advantage of some glitches, I'm assuming. But it doesn't look like he's making I mean, I don't know this game extremely well, but I think he's doing everything right. Like, doesn't look like he's making that many mistakes, right? There's got to be some new strategies. Degeneration, never played that one. Soused. This game looks terrible to play because of all the invisible platforms. You basically have to know in advance. Fun to watch and good. Yeah, the music's great. But yeah, you basically... This is one of those games you just have to keep dying enough times to know where everything is. And never liked those games. But that's alright. Everyone has their, you know, different likes of... different styles of gameplay and such. Yeah, let's walk on the goblin's head. Yeah, yeah. God, just like watching this person play the game is giving me anxiety. Oh my god, can't deal with it. So Tim Follin made the music to Solstice. You're saying so to Bigoda? He admitted he had no idea what Pictionary was when he made the music. Huh. Interesting. Well, so far so good here. Sorry about the Metroid desync, chat. I think we probably were supposed to use 0.3 instead of 0.42 for that. But it looks like this is working fine in X.XX. Spin up Pictionary when you get a chance. The title music is epic. I don't actually have Pictionary, but I will make a note of that for next time. I've never played it before. I mean, I played Pictionary, but I've never played the Nintendo version. Yarr! I'm glad that somebody redeemed the pirate hat, though. Very kind of you, Wally4000. Didn't think anyone was going to do it today. Yeah, Nesticle 0.42. I thought that the X.XX broke a few things, if I remember right. I thought 0.42 was the best version, if I remember correctly. Although X.XX was the newest version. The opening track to Supremacy was freaking amazing. Jaren Tell still does stuff. You know what else was amazing? I don't know if we have any Star Trek fans in here right now. Did anyone see they dropped the trailer for Season 3 of Picard today? Did anybody see that? I am so freaking excited. Tell me if anyone saw it. Anybody see that today? Season 3 of Star Trek Picard trailer? That's right, Dark Mechs. Almost the entire original crew. I think the only one missing was what, Wesley Crusher? Which boggles my mind because he's active on the show. He does the after show. Will Wheaton. But I think they got everybody else, right? Obviously, Brent Spiner's been in them. Jonathan Frakes is going to be in it. Of course, Picard himself, Patrick Stewart. I saw Marina Sirtis, which was Deanna Troi. I thought I saw Beverly Crusher's name in there. Was I wrong about that? I thought I saw Beverly Crusher. And, of course, Worf, Michael Dorn, definitely saw his name, heard his voice. So I think it's basically everybody but Will Wheaton, right? Should be awesome. And don't forget, new episode of Star Trek Picard tomorrow as well. Yeah, Star Trek Picard, so to be good. Yeah, Crusher's Gate took that. Yeah, I guess that was the whole plot line, right? That they got rid of Will Wheaton by saying, he went with the Traveler. Off in his weird excursions through space and time. But I mean, if they could bring Q back, who's an otherworldly being, then why can't they bring Will Wheaton? Yeah, Geordi LaForge. I heard him. Mr. Reading Rainbow himself. Like, how are you supposed to know to do that? Did you just see that, chat? That's just ridiculous. How are you supposed to know that? No friggin' way. Uh-oh. 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 Okay. Every time I see weird controller inputs, I'm like, oh no, it's desyncing. Like, this is the moment where it's gonna stop working. Oh, they made a solstice too? I didn't realize that. Why? Why torture? Oh, that looks like Cuber. Why torture yourself? Oh, Equinox is the sequel of Solstice. Okay, I should have known that. Oh, is that it? This is it, right? Shaddix! Princess Eleanor, that looks nothing like him. Too late, Shaddix. The evil has awakened. No, Morbius, for I possess the staff of demons. Wow. No, no! The end. You visited 131 rooms, you completed 39.25%. That's it. Did he win? Who was it that was saying no? Bad guy didn't win there, right? He did kill him, didn't he? Okay, good. That happened really fast. I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. It's been years since I've seen the end of this game. Just show up and defeat him with the power of cutscenes. Deus Ex Machina, baby. Well, cool. Well, that's the speedrun for Solstice, chat. I would just ask to hang out for just a little bit, because we are going to wind this down now, but I do want to raid somebody awesome. I want to go see who's on. Appreciate y'all joining me on this bonus stream. Definitely was something I've been planning on doing for a long time, and wasn't sure if I was going to do it tonight or not, but ultimately decided we should. Okay. Ooh, yeah. We got so many good choices tonight, chat. So many good choices. Let's go see what Cobra Command is doing. I think she's playing some Octopath Traveler, which is a really awesome retro-style RPG that came out on the Switch a few years ago. Looks like she's pretty deep into it. I've beaten it, by the way. Great game. Graphics are amazing. Good soundtrack, too. So she's at Sunshade Tavern. Yeah, okay. You're making decent progress. So Cobra Command, just so you know, is an awesome retro streamer. She does a lot of point-and-clicks and RPGs. And she's a great person. A lot of fun. Very chill. Good vibes. So I just ask that, you know, you show her awesome respect, and we should have some fun. We're gonna spam Zophar's Realm sends its regards. And tonight, we're gonna use, if you could, I like the idea of the Zophar sickly animation and the Lucius side-eye. So, something like this would be nice to spam if we could. Yeah, Big D, Cobra Command is awesome.